All right, we on Christmas Eve, December 23rd, 2025, 10:30 p.m. Eastern my time. And it's been pretty busy again in Australian boxing. TstreeT Controversy with 5v360. Got my colleague Big J on the line. And we're going to start off with undisputed 118-pound champion Shanika Johnson, who got a win over, what's this poor girl's name again? Her name was Amanda Gallier, not Valle. That's the one that fought earlier in the night. Unanimous decision. I got to be honest. Shanika, she's got the belts. You know, Big J, real quick, how many of those belts were vacant?
Okay, she picked up WBA against Nina Hughes last year at Lomachenko versus George. Defended it against Nina. Then fought Metcalf, who was the IBF champion, and because Dina Thorson went to have a baby, her WBO, WBC.
Got you. So it was two vacant titles.
Yeah.
So this was her. So really, she. Go ahead.
It really was a unification for the WBA, IBF, and then they threw. I don't know why they threw the other two belts on top of that. Probably the sanctioning fees, but
yeah, clearly.
I mean, they could have had. But then they probably wanted to just make it easier because now, every time Shanika fights, all four sanctioning bodies get a piece of the pie.
And so, MVP, her promoters, clearly got the money.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, smart business because what was the bloody Jake Paul fight worth? $200 million or some bloody thing? Give
or take. You know, they've been disputing the numbers, whether the $92 million that they were saying Joshua made. But let's say, you know, it was a nine-figure.
Bullshit.
I do as well.
I mean, it's like these friggin' like every time someone says, "Oh, I'm making this amount of money," I reckon they're full of shit. They're not making that amount of money.
And then also, this fight wasn't pay-per-view. It was a Netflix subscription, which 300 million people throughout the world have, and the viewership they're saying was 31 million, if I'm correct, for the event. So basically 92 million for Joshua and whatever it just doesn't make sense. But let's just say both fighters cleared 8 figures. Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua, and the women's boxers under MVP. It's been heavily said from Amanda Serrano herself and many other women's boxers that they pay the most of any promoters that they've ever been with. And clearly the women are happy and they're active, because this is Shanika's second fight under them, and she just fought in July. This is her third fight this year, by the way. This was her third fight this year.
Third world title fight too. She's had nothing but title fights since. She's been fighting world title fights since. When did she win the IBF 220?
My gosh, that was 2021.
No, it wasn't. It was 2022.
Okay. Oh yeah, April 2022 when she won the belt. Yeah, April 2022.
Yeah, I was there at that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Melissa.
Zerafa versus Hardman.
Got you. Yeah, so she's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was her 7th title fight. Mm-hmm. So my problem with her is she's more suited to be more of a boxer than the bully she tries to be. She smothers a lot of her punches. And then what I'm noticing is, it leads to headbutts.
Tactics.
Yeah, it leads to headbutts and cuts.
Exactly. Well, I mean, to be fair, remember the cut that she copped against Susie Ramadan?
Yes.
Because of the headbutt. But that was her fault because she headbutted Susie and came off second best.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But that's her style. Like on the inside, I just don't think it suits her well. And even with this girl that she beat earlier in the fight, this girl was having some success.
Well, here's the problem with Shanika Johnson. And the record shows that she can only beat women that are significantly older than her. Put her up against someone young, like Ellie Scottney. Ellie Scottney boxed her ears off.
Yeah, you said that.
So look at the age. Look at the ages of women that she's beat. I don't know how old the Mexican girl was.
The one she just fought was 36. Metcalf was 41.
So 41. Susie Ramadan's well into her 40s, even back then. I think Susie's like 45 now.
Nina Hughes is 43.
Nina Hughes was well into her 40s. Ellie Scotney, how old's Ellie Scotney?
Ellie Scotney's still on a 20. I'm checking now. Ellie Scotney is 27.
Young, yeah. So she's younger than Shanika and beat the brakes off Shanika. Well, boxed her ears off, didn't beat the brakes out of her, but clearly won.
Yeah, so the average age of her last 4 fights is it's 40.
40, exactly. She can only, and Shanika's only just turned 30. She can only beat women that are 10 years older.
Yeah, and she just be scrapping through. Well, some good news is, by the way, her division has no real rivals in it. But Dina Thorslund is back. She had a baby. That's how she ended up dropping her belt. And she's going to be fighting on the 31st of January on the William Skull card. That's the guy, of course, who had that shitty performance against Canelo.
Against Canelo.
You know, so she's back, and I'm expecting. If I remember correct, isn't she like promised a title shot?
Yeah,
I believe something happened with the WBC. Is like, you know, when she comes back, she'll be able to get her title shot.
So she should, because she'll be fighting Shanika probably May, June of next year.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
And Dina will box Shanika's ears off.
She will. And that's why I'm guessing this fight, this little low-level fight here she's fighting is just to get the rust off. I mean, after all, she had a baby.
Exactly. So that's just to get the cobwebs out. Shanika will fight whoever's ever next in line for her titles.
Whoever.
And then Thorson.
Go ahead.
She might not fight again until Thorson, because it's only 6 months away.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
So, yeah, it's only 6 months away because they'll protect the belts, and Thorson will beat the shit out of them. So,
or, you know, another fight that's possibly out there for Shanika is whenever she does decide to possibly move back up, you know, her and Sky Nicholson, that would be somewhat of an interesting fight.
Yeah, but Sky's going to coming down. Shanika ain't going to move up. Not while she's got all the belts.
Yeah. But remember, Sky at her post-fight interview, she said she would be willing to move down to 118 if it was the right fight there.
Well, the only right fight at 118 is Shanika.
Yeah, because it's the only fight. It's the championship. So, you know, that's an option out there for Shanika. So, all right, on to K. Scott. This was actually only the first time I saw this woman fight. I saw previews of her fight, but I actually sat through this fight.
And it was a dominating performance, but having said that, Desley Robinson beat the brakes or boxed her ears off in their second fight for the vacant IBF title. It was around this time last year on the No Limit card. So while her performance was dominating against Olivia Curry, against Desley, I don't see it going as well. Because Desley's improved out of sight since the fight with Kay.
Yeah, well, in her last 3 fights, Kay is 1-1-3, so 1 draw. So she fought Olivia Curry twice. You know, the first fight was a majority draw. Second fight, she beat her this weekend. And then Desley Robinson had beat her last December. Yep. December the 13th, actually.
Yes.
You know, so I didn't really see anything special, and I can understand why they're going to fight. For those who don't know, she said at the her manager said at the end that they're going to be fighting Tam Tybalt. She is a highly respected Olympian, Canadian, very tall. She's an MVP fighter, and let me say, she's very good. This girl's going to beat her. And I'm only assuming, you know, this fight is happening is because of the money that MVP is offering pretty much for that WBC title to put around Tam Tybalt.
Oh, and WBA, because Kay's got both. Got
you. Yeah, so, you know, that's what it's looking like to me. And they're saying that that's next. It's pretty much already done. So where does that leave Desley? Where's Desley? Who is she with?
I don't know, because No Limit, and I'll get to this, and one of my commenters on my channel the other day mentioned this, and that's a good point. I don't know who she's with, because when she won the IBF belt, she was on a No Limit card. But Kay was the No Limit fighter, and Desley was just the opponent. She fought on a Sam LaBruna card earlier in the year to win the WBO title as well. And then she's fought in America. I got no fucking idea who she's with. So I don't know who a promoter is.
Yeah, that's interesting
I
because
don't know.
I'm looking right now. She fought on an MVP card. I know that for sure.
That would have been the one, that would have been the most recent one. Because she had a title defense in America against some girls. She kicked the shit out in like 2 rounds. And
Yeah, she did. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe she is with MVP, but I don't see anything saying that she's signed to MVP.
I mean, the rubber match, the trilogy for Undisputed would be the way to go on an MVP card, but I don't know. I mean, because those girls have history, and it's one apiece by the record books, even though most people thought Desley won the first fight.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
It's one apiece, so it writes itself. But here's the problem I have with these bloody girls, right? They're all doing fucking OnlyFans. God, that shits me to tears.
Yeah.
It pisses me off. I mean, these are not young women. Kay is 40 plus. Desley's 37. Shanika's done it. Ebony done it. Who else has done it? Oh, there's another girl out there, but she's low level, domestic level fighter. Why the fuck are these women, particularly the Aussie girls, the world champions, resorting to this bullshit? What is wrong with these women?
Hey, man, this generation sex sells, especially in boxing, for the simpletons.
And they say, the girls aren't making any money. Not with MVP, they're not. They're making shit ton of money.
Yeah, they are.
They're making a shit ton of money. I mean, these girls are pissing on the sport of boxing to promote their online smut. What the fuck's wrong with them? And Desley Robinson is a mother. What the fuck kind of example is she setting for her children?
Yeah. But, at the end of the day, they get that quick money and not understanding, the long-term effects of their body just being out there for the internet for eternity.
Well, they need to go and watch that video that we did. When was that video that we did? Was it, a year and a half ago?
I remember. Actually did better than I thought I was going to do. I remember that.
Yeah, go and watch that, girls, because, when your child's mates say, I saw your mum on the internet, you'll bloody know about it then. Wake up to them. Anyway, sorry, I just went on rant, but it just shits me in the tears that they're reducing to that. I mean, go work in a personal trainer at a gym or something, or sell Avon products or something. Go draw. Shay Keneally, remember her? Do you remember her at all?
Nope.
She's the WBA light heavyweight champion. She's another girl. She works in the mines.
Okay.
So she's a world champion fighter, and she works in the mines.
And it's a damn shame, but look, because she ain't taking her clothes off, nobody know who she is. And the light heavyweight division, those bigger divisions up in women's boxing don't get no play. Clarissa Shields is up there now, but that's pretty much about it.
She's dropped off.
Yeah, and that's only because she really don't want to, cut down in weight, so she's just fighting up there at her natural weight. I didn't see this card before, but now that I'm looking at it, this January 16th Nikita Zoo card is pretty good. I mean, at least
it is very strong.
This is one of the strongest cards as far as known names on it that I've seen from them. I don't even know when. It opens up Liam Wilson taking on a Rodex Piala. I'm guessing that's a Filipino. They always beating up on them over in Australia. Who is this guy, Nelson Asofa Solomona?
Okay. Hang on. Let me bring up the card. Nelson Solomona. He is an NRL player.
Oh, okay. They're doing that again, huh?
Yeah. Former 2-time premiership winner with the Storm. Won 2017, 2020, and he's got to be 38. He's retired now, but he's switching over to boxing. It's just another novelty fad ex-footy player fight.
No, it's listed here saying he's 29. If that's right, 6'7", 29 years old.
Shit.
Yeah, this got to be wrong.
No 29 years old.
This is what Google's saying.
He ain't no 29 years old. He can't be. He's got to be. That doesn't sound right. He's been playing the Storm for years.
Yeah, he looks older, but it's saying here. I just checked Wikipedia and Google. Says he's 29 years old, 6'7".
He's 6'7". That's legit.
He's I don't see what his weight is going to be for the fight, but I'm guessing.
He's 100.
So is this cruiserweight or is this going to be heavyweight?
Oh no! He is 260.
Oh, got you. So that's a heavyweight. Got you.
That heavy.
So basically,
he's probably about the same size as Anthony Joshua.
So do people care about this fight? I mean, do people care that he's making his debut? Like, what's, you know...
Yeah, because the Melbourne Storm is probably the equivalent to Patriots. Very, very popular team.
Got you.
If they're not winning grand finals, they're in the grand final. I mean, this year was a bloody embarrassment. They lost to the fucking Broncos. They dropped 10 points. Now, dropping 10 points in a grand final, when you're, I think they went to the halftime 10 points up, and they dropped that lead to the Broncos. That's a fucking embarrassment. And those useless pricks should hang their heads in fucking shame. They should be ashamed to bloody walk outside. But anyway,
I mean, he looks like he got some power, though. I mean, I'm watching some clips of him on his Instagram, but I'm not impressed by anything.
He's a big fella, but that doesn't mean shit. You can be a big guy all you want, but unless you can take a hit, so he has to, like everyone, he has to prove his worth in the ring. Simple as that.
And then Dempsey McKean returns.
Oh, shit, I forgot about him. That's right. He's fighting. Shit, who's he fighting?
I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. Atosi Vu. Let's see. Vositu.
Let me bring it up. Because as soon as I see it, I'll know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, looking like a, Samoan.
No, one of the Islander boys. Hang on, let me bring it up. Sorry.
Let me see. When was the last time Dempsey McKean fought? Let me check here real quick.
Dempsey McKean got his ass knocked out by Moses Natama.
That was his last fight? No. He came back in July. He got a first round knockout in July on a club show.
Oh, that's right. Tosi
there you go.
Velicitu. Yeah, like these bloody Polynesian guys are hard to pronounce sometimes. That'll actually be a good fight. This is actually a very good card because Liam Parrow's fighting Paddy Donovan, as we know, for the IBF Eliminator. The winner fights... What's the old mate who's the champion? I can't remember his bloody name. Who's the 147 champion?
What, IBF?
Lewis Crocker or something?
Yeah, Lewis Crocker. But he's not. He'll be the mandatory. You already know how the IBF works with the mandatories. But Devin Haney is closing in on him. They're in talks. So Parra might end up running into Devin Haney, which I don't know is, let's see how, Liam Parra looks against Paddy Donovan, because I'm not too, if he runs into Devin Haney.
I'm not too confident that Parra can beat Devin Haney. Not too confident at all. So, anyway, what else?
But but one thing about Paddy Donovan is Paddy Donovan can crack. Like, he can fight, so this is not going to be a bullshit fight. And if I'm correct.
No, it's not.
Yeah, Paddy Donovan, as I'm looking at, he's never been stopped. And he's coming off of two like close losses to Lewis Crocker. So this is a really good fight. Possibly, as I'm looking at the card, the most credible fight on the card. Like, it actually means something.
Oh, easy. It is. The most credible fight on the card is a Parra-Donovan fight, without a shadow of a
by far.
The rest of these fights are just novelty fights. Get back into the rankings, Liam Wilson, bragging rights, which is Mick versus Zoo, because bar that doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, that's a grudge match, though. Something that's been out there, for years.
Not really. The thing that pisses me off about this fight is that the media is trying to make something that's just not there. Mick doesn't have a problem with Nikita and vice versa. Mm-hmm. Mick's beef is with Tim, not with his brother. And the media is trying to replace Tim with Nikita.
Got you.
Nikita and Mick don't have any dramas. I've seen those two react, quite cordially to each other constantly. There's no beef between those two.
Got you.
It's going to be a good fight, right? But there's no beef. They're trying to create something that's not there. Mick doesn't hate Nikita, and Nikita doesn't hate Mick. Right? It's just two professionals that are having a fight, bragging rights fight, but there is no, one can't stand the other. That's bullshit.
I mean, I'm not too, with Mick Zerafa, you never know which guy's going to show up. I'm going with Nikita, but also I'm not high on Nikita Zoo. I haven't, seen it. And then how many times has he been in danger in the fights that you saw?
Pretty much every one of them.
Yeah, so
one that he had well, here's the problem with Nikita, okay? He's coming off a more than 1 year layoff. By the time he gets to the ring, it'll be about 15, 16 months.
16 months.
With a 1 round mismatch. He knocked out old mate in 90 seconds.
Yeah.
I have to give the massive advantage to Zerafa because he's more experienced and he's been a lot more active than what Nikita has.
Yeah.
So, you know, even though I think Nikita's still too green for a Mick Zerafa, even though we don't know what version of Mick Zerafa turns up, but I don't think, because if Mick loses, it's career over.
Yeah,
It's done.
And at the end of the day, Mick has had, for example, by the time he fights Nikita, it'll be his 3rd fight in 10 months.
Exactly. So,
you know, and then both of those fights, he won by stoppage. Yeah, before that, he fought Tommy Brown, stopped him in 1, and of course, remember the fight before that in March of 2024, he got, you know, put down by Erislaney Lara. But since then, he's been active.
Exactly. And Nikita has only had 1 90-second mismatch in 16 months.
So how is Nikita's chin? You know, like, okay, so what's the style of Nikita? Because to be very honest, I haven't really been able to catch his fights, mostly because they're really difficult to get over here. But, you know, does he have like that stalking, walk you down? Because I'm from what you're telling me, and I did see him get cracked on our highlights, the concerns about the chin and if Mick Zerafa will be able to catch him. Well, because if he's getting hurt by this lower level competition, you know, who was the closest to almost beat him, like really like hurt him or looked like he was going to be able to stop him? Was it Ben Horn?
It was Ben Horn, yeah. Surprisingly, if that last round went another 30 seconds, I have no doubt Ben would have knocked him out.
And that was only his 3rd fight.
Exactly. That was only
Nikita's 3rd fight.
Nikita fights exactly like Tim, but Nikita's a southpaw.
Gotcha.
And remember, Igor is is still Nikita's trainer because Nikita hasn't changed teams like Tim did, right? Nikita has the same defensive faults that Tim had, and he's a southpaw, which means he leads with his face.
Yeah.
That's why he gets hit so bloody much, right? Defensively, Nikita is worse than Tim.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Tim with I mean, if Mick gets on the inside of him and cracks him one, he'll put Nikita to sleep. Because here's the thing that a lot of people forget about Mick, is that he can take a punch and get back up. I mean, he looked terrible at Lara, but Jeff hit him and he got back up. So I don't think it's going to be an easy fight for Nick. It's not going to be an easy fight.
And Nikita's ranked number 6 by the IBF, by the way. He's creeping in the top 10, and he's ranked number 12 by the WBO.
So what weight is this at? 154 or 157?
I do not know. It doesn't say. I didn't know if it would be a catch weight or not.
I thought it was. Hang on. No, they're doing middle. So I reckon it's probably 157.
You're right. It says WBO International. Oh, so Nikita's moving up the middleweight. They're fighting for an underling, but he's fighting to be ranked by the WBO at 160. That's interesting.
I think I've heard this. I think it might be at 157.
Okay.
Wouldn't surprise me if it was.
But the thing is, why there's a underling ranking title on the line. You know, it's WBO International title at middleweight. So why would that be on the line if Nikita's not trying to move up?
I'm pretty sure Mick's held that before. No, he hasn't. He's held a WBO middleweight something before.
Yeah, but why would it be on the line for Nikita though? Because if he wins it, he'll be ranked at 160. Have you heard anything about any issues with him with weight?
Yes, both of them. We've heard that both boys are struggling a little bit, and apparently Nikita is a bit more denser than what Tim is.
Okay, got you.
So, because Tim's last fight wasn't 154, it was 157. So the fight that he just had last week, we've heard like both boys are having difficulty making the 154. And 154 is too stacked for either boy to be a contender world level anyway. Unless they both want to get the living shit kicked out of them.
Tim will get eaten. Well, we already seen Tim get eaten alive, and Nikita is definitely going to be a meal. Exactly. I doubt Nikita makes it to an eliminator. The way things are looking for him up at that weight, especially if he moves up to one side. I don't know, but now that's a good time to talk about Tim and how, basically a week after his fight, people are saying the same thing, that he looks like he's done.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he had a good win, but it wasn't a great win, and he should have knocked this guy out, even though he never got stopped. But this guy wasn't even ranked.
Yeah.
It's like.
It just like something seems to be really missing, and we weren't the only ones saying it. They're saying it on social media as well.
Well, the one thing that's missing, and everyone knows what's coming, the one thing that's missing is the blown-up welterweight that Tim's using to kicking the shit out of.
Yeah.
Because look at it. How many knockouts has Tim got against legitimate 154ers?
Yeah, you're right about that. I'm looking now.
Fucking zero. Like, except for Dennis Hogan, who was well past his prime.
Yeah, he got Carlos Ocampo out there at one. That was that was pretty much it. The fresh, like a fresh, young in their prime 154 pounder. But yeah, you're right. Brian Mendoza went the distance with him. Yeah.
I've been saying this for years, and people are finally catching up to me. Tim can only knock out blown up welterweights. Or
older.
Or washed up, like his three best wins are Horn, Hogan, Harrison. They're all Triple H.
I mean, well, think about this though. Tony Harrison is back though. He's got two straight wins since losing to Tim Tszyu, and he was on over a 2-year layoff. So I'm interested to see how that win's going to age for Tszyu going forward. But yeah, at the end of the day, Tony Harrison was still. He had took some beatings.
Exactly. I mean, all three of those guys were past their best.
Yeah.
Even though we said this at the time, we thought Jeff was going to knock Tim's head off, but Tim beat the absolute piss out.
Yeah, but remember, Jeff showed up with no voice or nothing. It sounded like he had the flu. So even that fight didn't really, age well for me.
Yeah, but you can't go blaming Tim because that was Jeff's team's fault. That's not Tim's fault.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it still fits the narrative of not even a narrative is that no matter who he fights, these guys, something's wrong with them. They're either older, smaller fighters, washed up, not their best. So I'm interested to see which way he's going to go now. Did you hear anything about when they're possibly trying to get him back out? I would imagine he fights around like March, April, right? March. Damn.
Yeah, no, February, March.
So if they're doing February, March, then it might not be.
Hang on. Hang on. Let me Google this. Hang on. They're doing the Vegas thing again. You know the NRL when they kick off the season in Vegas?
Yeah. No, they said it, but how? Who? It would have to be a PBC card, and PBC's not giving Tim Tszyu no card. No more. Like I don't believe that. I believe it's. I believe that's what they want, but I believe his next fight is going to be in Australia.
Oh, of course.
And let me see. And I'm looking at the rankings here. So if he's trying to get back out in February, March, then it's got to be somebody that he can easily negotiate with. I hope that they take their time this time around because looking at the rankings, like we already talked about in the post-fight video, is, the closer he gets to the top, the more dangerous it becomes for Tim Tszyu. I just don't see him being able to get back up there unless he's able to capture a vacant title.
Or how do you reckon he'd go against Xander Zayas?
Nah, I think Xander Zayas is young, great boxer. I don't know right now because Xander Zayas is, for him to be so young, he's got a lot of experience and he's been with the best matchmakers in the business with Top Rank. And by the way, Xander Zayas is going to be fighting for the WBA title. In Puerto Rico, I believe it's going to be, and that's going to be also in January the 31st, which is also a big day for boxing. You have Teofimo Lopez taking on Shakur Stevenson that same day as well on a different card. So if he was to go the WBA route, meaning Tim Tszyu to fight the winner of Xander Zayas and the boss Baru, I forgot to pronounce his name. I would favor Xander Zayas. Overall,
That's a
better boxer.
unification. Yeah, that's a unification bout, yeah?
Yeah, it would be for the WBA Super and the WBO.
Yeah, I thought so.
But Tim is ranked. Let me see. Oh wait, Tim is not. Tim is only ranked. He's only ranked by the WBCs. Looking like.
Yeah, I was going to say his last fight was 157, so his last fight wouldn't count anyway.
So and then we don't know what he's going to do as well. You know, like my personal opinion is, try his hand at 160 pounds. You know, see how he would feel at a bigger weight. And also 160 is kind of wide open, especially if Alim Hanallah gets stripped. We're just waiting for the B samples to come back on his test. And maybe he can go, you know, probably go the, I don't know about him and Erislandy Lara. You know, I think Erislandy Lara would beat him, but I'm just trying to figure out a path that Tim can go where he may have a chance, especially after the beatings that he took all in 1 year.
Well, if Hamillar gets stripped, then WBO is the way to go.
Yeah, and they have very weak rankings, the WBO. So we're gonna see. So first, I want to say thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Take your time out, like the video. You can follow me on Twitter at TstreeT Controversy and Big J at Old Mate Big J on Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. All right, Bam Rodriguez is on his way to being undisputed at 115 pounds, junior bantamweight. He wants to become undisputed, and they've already been talking about a possible fight between him and Inoue. Inoue is going to be fighting this weekend, Alan Picasso, by the way, on the Zone. It's going to be over in Saudi Arabia, so Eastern Standard Time. The card's going to start at about 4 a.m. I plan to be here. Main event's going to be at about 7:50 or so, from my understanding, this Saturday, December the 27th. But Bam Rodriguez, to get the last belt, would have to fight Willie Baldo Garcia. That's the IBF champion. But for what I'm learning from Big J here is Andrew Maloney. Wait, is Andrew Maloney the mandatory? Big J?
I believe so, yeah, because he fought some bloke in Fiji to keep his spot. Because he hadn't fought in like a year. He hadn't fought since he lost to the Mexican bloke in on the
he fought 2 fights. He fought Pedro Guerrero. That was on that Haney card, right? Haney
No. Loma bloody George.
Oh, Loma Camboso's okay. And then he fought, God, I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name. Last December, knocked him out.
Yeah.
And
then he fought the Indian bloke in Fiji.
Okay, but that was only an 8-rounder.
Yeah, that was purely and solely just to keep his ranking where he was.
Okay.
And because he hadn't fought in a while, and my understanding is that he's now in contention for the IBF belt.
Okay, yeah, I'm pulling up. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Offered step-aside money so Bam can go kick the shit out of old mate. And Andrew's like, yeah, nah, bugger that, I want me shot. So, or as you said before, playing hardball just to get more step-aside money.
Yeah, so for those who are not go ahead.
Bam would fucking decapitate poor old
yeah.
mate. He'd get the same thing. He'd get the same treatment Jinto Nakatani did to him, unfortunately. And I don't like saying that because I like Andrew Maloney. I like both the boys.
Nah, this is boxing. Got to keep it real.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't take great pride in saying both.
And it's crazy because that means, you know, he would lose to both of the brothers if he would fight both of them. You know, because remember before Joshua Franco, what was that, 2020? 2021?
Yes. Yeah, he fought Joshua Franco 3 times, yeah.
Yeah, so which was the one that people thought he won? The first one, right? Or was the second one that was a no con? Yeah, okay, got you.
The second job was the screw
got you. Yeah, I remember. So basically, Andrew Maloney wants his title shot. He doesn't want the step-aside money. For those who don't know, step-aside money is basically you get paid for you get paid to not fight and possibly be on the undercard. And then you're promised a shot at the winner if the winner still has the belt. That's usually how it works. But often the person who wins, if Bam was to win, would likely move up and for a bigger fight instead of fighting Andrew Maloney. So I think, as we talked about earlier, is that Andrew Maloney's team is playing hardball because it's that last belt. They know Bam Rodriguez wants to be undisputed. And basically, they're like, all right, well, we'll fight Bam. We'll probably get more money fighting Bam than taking a step aside. And then we'll get a shot at the championship. But if Andrew Maloney plays his cards right, maybe he'll be able to get more money than he's been originally offered. I believe that's what they're doing. And then if Bam goes on to fight Garcia when undisputed, Bam moves up to 118 pounds. Andrew Maloney can fight for a vacant title and possibly be champion at 115 in a division where all the belts will be fractured. And maybe he'll be able to possibly go a route to secure a unification, because right now you got Chocolatito Gonzalez. He's ranked number 1 by the WBC. Jose Zito Velasquez ranked number 1 by the WBO. And basically what I'm saying is the 115-pound division, once Bam moves up, is pretty much open. So not only would Andrew be getting, money to step aside, but he'll have a better chance of possibly getting a title shot for a vacant title and a unification that maybe he could win. So there's a way for him to go there. So we should be hearing something soon. I won't be surprised if we hear something about what Bam Rodriguez is doing next this weekend, because his name has been linked heavily to Inoue. And we'll go from there. So we already talked about Jai Opetaia and the shitty situation he's in where he can't get a fight of some note. But with Noel Mikaelian, who beat Badu Jack, maybe we can possibly see a unification for Jai's IBF and Mikaelian's WBC title. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I've heard, and I don't know if we've discussed this before, but it's been floating around that there was some sort of agreement that Jai was going to get the winner regardless of what happened. The WBC was in agreement that Jai would fight for the WBC title next, regardless of the winner. Have we discussed that?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
We didn't discuss it. Yeah. Have you heard anything along those lines?
Nope.
Because over in Australia, that's been like more than one person have said that. Oh yeah, Jai's apparently, some deal was broken and he's going to get a shot at the WBC champion next. That would make more sense if Badu Jack won. But as we know, Mikaelian's promoter's Don King, and he'll want the biggest fight he can lay his hands on. And despite the fact that there are a number of videos on social media saying that Jai is not as good as everyone says he is, which is fair because he's still completely unproven because he's been fighting very low competition.
Yeah.
But, I think Jai would kick the living shit out of Noel Mikaelian.
I don't know. I can't. I don't know. Because yes, the Bottle Jack fight was really nasty, but I will say Mikaelian's got some good, boxing ability. I think it would be a good fight. Don't get me wrong. I would favor Jai, but I don't think it would be an easy fight for Jai Opetaia, at all.
Yeah. I think that's fair because Jai has been fighting low competition.
Yeah, low competition, and then a Breedis. Remember, the first fight, Breedis didn't take him seriously, and then Breedis didn't. Remember, the first fight, Breedis. It seemed like Breedis thought he was going to go out there and blow him out, and then it wasn't until the second half of the fight where Breedis turned it up and was getting close to looking like he was going to do some damage was going to be able to do some damage, and then he did. He damn near tore his mandible off.
Exactly, and as we predicted, if Breedis took that fight seriously, like we said, Jai would have lasted 6-7 rounds before Breedis put his lights out. Because if Breedis was serious, he would have knocked the living shit out of him.
So maybe, these fights that Jai has had are the fights that he's needed to really sharpen his skills, because now he's got to be in the deep end of the pool, because nobody wants to see him fight guys like Sin Cara or Sequoia, whatever this guy's name, or David Nika, or Jack Massey. We don't Nika. We don't want to see those fights, you know. And social media, they're feeling the same way. The fans are feeling the same way because these fights don't mean nothing. And even though it may not be Jai's fault, the casual fans, they're looking like this guy's never fighting nobody. You know, that's how they are. They don't care why they're not happening. They're looking like he's never fighting anybody. So it needs to be their business. And I'm surprised, as you said, you know, you thought as well, too, that why didn't he show up to this fight?
Well, exactly. I mean, why didn't
it was in L.A.
Exactly. He should have got on a plane and went there. So there were reports that his audible bone was broken. They were dismissed, saying, "Nah, he's fine. We'll get on a fucking plane." Then. I mean, as I said before, he's extremely hard to pin down for an interview. Mm-hmm. He doesn't do media. I'm like, how the fuck are you supposed to get notoriety if you're not talking to the media?
Yeah.
So I don't know, you know, what the problem is there. So because the journos that I know, because I know all the journos, I know all the blokes, you know, they say, yeah, he's hard to pin down for an interview. So yeah, I mean.
And looking at the division, for example, he's already okay, so when you're a champion, for those who don't know, you have to fight somebody in the top 15 of your sanctioning body, or basically you can get stripped, or the IBF, the sanctioning bodies won't sanction the fight. So you got Chris Billum-Smith, Matthews Masternak, Roman Frez. By the way, I'm hearing this Roman Frez is pretty good. I got to do some research on him. But besides that, everyone in division, nobody wants to see these fights. You know, it's got to be a unification. So hopefully they do the unification because, see, here's the thing. Mikaelian's got a mandatory in the interim champion of Michael Cieslak, and then he's got two mandatories. You know, so the only way Noel Mikaelian will be able to get out of that is to fight Jai Opetaia. And I'm hoping that the Saudis put the money behind it, because they put the money behind Bottle Jack before in the past, and Noel Mikaelian in the past. And I'm hoping they're able to put, you know, the money behind Jai Opetaia to where Noel Mikaelian wants to fight him, because that's the only fight I really want to see. And then the winner of that goes on to fight the winner of Gilberto Ramirez, David Benavidez, and hopefully they don't have a mandatory 2-fight deal, meaning Benavidez and Gilberto Ramirez, because we should have an undisputed champion in the cruiserweight division by the end of next year, and then maybe the champion
next year.
Yeah, maybe the champion sticks around, you know, and then moves up to heavyweight. But right now, the way things are going, I'm not sure, you know, how Jai Opetaia would do at heavyweight. I got to see some more from him at cruiserweight. What are your thoughts?
Well, I said he shouldn't go to heavyweight because he'll get the living shit kicked out of him. And people say, oh, you're a Jai hater. Fuck off, I am. I'm a Jai supporter. He's never fought at heavyweight, and he's going to be taking on guys who are going to be, even if he puts on 20, 30 pound, he's still going to be taking on guys who will be 20, 30 pound heavier than him.
Yeah.
So imagine, you know, look what AJ did to Jake Paul. Imagine, you know, Jai's already got a busted jaw. What do you think AJ would do to Jai? So all this bullshit about Jai needs to go to heavyweight needs to stop. The other bullshit is that David Benavidez, who's never fought a cruiserweight, anyone thinks he's going to walk in there and kick the shit out of Roberto Ramirez or Jai Opetaia or maybe even the other bloke. What the fuck you talking about? He's a weight bully that balled down to 168 so he could beat up smaller guys, right? He's never fought at 200. What happens if when he gets cracked?
And his power, you know, his power's been questionable. He just overwhelms you. David Benavidez, you know, since he's been up past 168.
But he looked bloody good against
Anthony Yard.
Anthony Yard.
Yeah.
Anthony Yard looked 20 pounds heavier than him, and Benavidez kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah, but Anthony Yard has never been really. That's who Anthony Yard is. He'll look good early. He's got very good boxing technique, but he always fades less than midway through the fight. The fourth, fifth round, he always fades. All of his big fights.
Yeah, well, you can't. I mean, David Benavidez is completely unproven at cruiserweight. So to say he's going to walk in and beat the shit out of Zeta Ramirez, that's what a fucking idiot would say.
Mm.
So you can't make those statements. I'd say he has to prove it. So you think clear advantage Roberto Ramirez, because he's had how many fights at cruiserweight now? At least 5.
Yeah, about
5?
yeah. He's pretty acclimated at the division now.
And he kicked the shit out of CBS. He dominated him. So people to say that he's just going to waltz in there and deal with him that's just a fool's talk.
I mean, if we do hear something about them fighting, we should be hearing something around the beginning of the new year, no later than February, because I'm guessing Mikaelian and Jai would want to get back out there. What about like April, no later than May, maybe give or take?
It has to be.
Or you know what? The Zerto Benavidez fight is supposed to be on Cinco de Mayo weekend this year because Canelo's not fighting this Cinco de Mayo. So maybe, if the Saudis are involved, they can put Zerto Benavidez main event, Jai versus Mikaelian as the co-main, and then sell that. That's how
Makes
you
sense.
that's the best way to go. And they're all on the same timeline. Remember, Jai and the Benavidez fights were about 2-3 weeks apart?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's on the same timeline. So that's the perfect way to go. But now, since we're approaching the end of the video, I didn't get your thoughts on Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. First of all, I'm going to say this. I'm glad that Anthony Joshua did what he needed to do. He got the knockout. A lot of people were upset that it went longer than a lot of people wanted it to, but they're not talking about that now. What's trending is that Jake Paul got his jaw broken. You don't play boxing. What are your thoughts on the fight?
Well, I think social media set it up perfectly. Jake Paul ran for 5 rounds because he knew the second Anthony caught him, he was going to sleep.
Yeah.
Or something was getting broken. And the second Anthony caught him, he got cracked. I mean, Jake Paul is not a natural 220-pound man. He's a natural 180-pound man.
Yeah.
So going up against a natural 250-pound man, what the fuck does everyone think was going to happen? I mean, Jake Paul had 0 chance of winning this bloody fight. So
I think he knew he wasn't going to win. This is what pissed me off. A lot of people didn't understand that for a social media influencer like Jake Paul, the story is, wow, I won 6 rounds with a former world heavyweight champion. Like, fuck, that's how these social media influencers think. Even if he gets knocked out, if you look on his social media, they're already selling it now that he went more rounds than Ngannou. That was the selling point. Mm-hmm. And if he would have won, that just would have been extra.
Yeah, but the thing is, he also ran for 5 rounds.
He did. He did run.
Didn't run. I mean, Jake Paul deserves absolutely no credit for what he did because he ran like one of my daughters when I'm after him to get up them for doing something wrong. He ran like a 4-year-old little girl scared of her dad because he's coming after her to give her a hiding.
And then he's falling all over the place, all on his knees and flopping around.
This is gonna piss a lot of people off, and fuck it, I don't care. He took more knees than those bloody woke U.S. soccer team female players when the national anthems play.
Yeah.
So think about that. I mean, how many times did he take a knee?
Man, lost count. It was a frustrating fight to watch. Because, I don't say fighters are running, but in this case, he was really evasive. I'm going to say that way. He did not want to get hit. He did not want to get hit. He did not want to get he gassed out from that moving. He didn't gas out from throwing punches. He gassed out from all that running around he was doing in the ring.
Exactly. And it would have had more respect if he just said, okay, Anthony, I'm right here. Let's go.
Yeah.
And just slug it out with it. Yeah, he would have lasted 20 seconds, but hey, if he just stood right in the middle of the ring, like Holloway did to whoever he knocked out, and said, right, in the ring, let's just go, put your foot out, let's just hammer each other, he would have got a lot more respect doing that. He probably would have got killed, but he would have got a lot more respect than running around like a scalded dog for 4 bloody rounds. I'm
just glad that he got knocked out. It was the only way. It couldn't have been no decision. And the cherry on top, and don't get me wrong, I love what Jake Paul's doing for boxing, especially females boxing. But the cherry on top was him getting his jaw broken.
Jaw broke.
That's the equivalent of being knocked out, Cody. Anthony Joshua broke his face. Mm-hmm. He didn't just stop him. He broke his face.
I think AJ pulled his punch. Even though AJ pulled his punch, he leveled him, and Jake still got back up. You got to give him credit for that. With a broken
Yeah, I
jaw,
mean, nah, but
and
he
still
got me.
back up.
But if he would have been allowed to continue, he would have been. He was going to sleep. Joshua was getting
Here he
closer
comes.
and closer.
A lot of people say that the broken jaw was fake, and
You can't do that, man. Nah.
yeah, but the thing is, when he was talking, go do this. Everyone that's listening to this, go do this. Go watch Jai when he's talking in the aftermath. He can barely spit a word out. And go watch Jake. He talks fluently. Because when your jaw gets broken, even if it's on one side, you can barely string a sentence together. Jake spoke fine.
Yeah, but then he opened his mouth and it was cracked up, man. It's on there, it's on there.
His teeth was bent, but then again, Jai has literally almost got his face punched.
Yeah, for real. Jai had it broken on both sides.
Both sides, yeah, but yeah, I mean, Jake Paul, I'm glad he got knocked out because that's what needed to happen. I mean, boxing would have suffered a massive embarrassment. Not just Anthony Joshua, boxing, the sport itself, would have suffered a massive embarrassment if Anthony didn't knock him out.
I remember it was already embarrassed by Ngannou, so this is 2 times that Anthony Joshua helped clean up the sport from these influencers. He knocked out Ngannou and then he knocked out Jake Paul. Fury embarrassed us. Fury embarrassed us, though.
I think Fury was more embarrassing losing to Usyk twice than Ngannou losing to Joshua.
I can't. I mean, Usyk, but at the end of the day, like Tyson Fury should not be getting outboxed by Ngannou. Period. Usyk's whole life has been eating, living, breathing boxing. Usyk's whole life is boxing since a child.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot Fury fought Ngannou, didn't he?
Yes, and a lot of people thought it should have been a draw at least.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's way more embarrassing. Forget about the Usyk loss to Fury. That's fine. Usyk's a legitimate boxer, but yeah, that was way worse.
Yeah, it was, and Usyk. I mean, and Fury was legitimately confused out there. I never seen nothing like it from him.
That's right. I forgot about that. But AJ, the power, it's been brought back into balance, or whatever analogy you want to call that, and now boxing can go back to legitimate fights. Jake Paul does do a lot for the girls. You've got to give him that. I hope that he keeps doing what he's doing and snaps up with as many women as he can and gives them big paydays so they don't have to do that OnlyFans horse shit.
Yeah.
If he's going to do it for that purpose, I'm all for it because it gets those girls off that friggin' smut.
Well, it looks like they're trying to monopolize women's boxing. They're going after everybody.
Good, because if the girls get the legitimate paydays, so they need to reduce themselves up to make money. I'm all for it. So that's a positive.
Oh, and by the way, I'm glad that you brought that up. Ebony's back, right? Like she's got to fight.
Oh fuck no!
She's got to fight.
Oh fuck no!
Let me see if I can find it. I'm pretty sure I seen that she's.
I know she was coming back, but I don't give 2 shits about Ebony and the bullshit she's pulled. So.
Isn't she with? Yeah, she is. She comes back. She's fighting in Puerto Rico. Next week.
Oh, fuck off. You serious?
Yeah, she fights on the Amanda Serrano card. January 3rd.
Okay. Well, that's next year. That's not next week.
Well, it is next week. I mean, okay, yeah, next year. The first week of January, January 3rd, and it's a pretty significant card. You got Amanda Serrano taking on Rihanna Tellez. The first girl had failed the drug test. Stephanie Hahn is taking on Holly Holm. Ebony Bridges is taking on Alexis Moniz. So yeah, she's back and she's with MVP now.
Okay.
So yeah, she's back. So she's back in the mix. So maybe a possible fight between her and Shanika is also out there too. The OnlyFans fight, pretty much.
No, we don't want no OnlyFans pillow fight.
You know they're going to do that. If an Ebony Bridges and a Shanika Johnson fight happens, that weigh-in is going to be bananas. It's going to be simp heaven.
Shanika stepped back from that shit.
No, she didn't. You ain't see what she wore to weigh in. No, she did not.
Fucking hope not.
No,
I don't pay attention.
No, she did not.
Once these Sheilas do OnlyFans, I lose all fucking interest. You know that. I don't give a fuck what they're up to. I just watch the fight. I don't even watch the weigh-ins anymore because of the bullshit they're pulling. So yeah,
they scooped. Go ahead.
Well, what did she do last weigh? Come out and body paint the G-string? If she hasn't done that.
No. She wore some revealing lingerie, as she always does, the see-through kind, as both of them do. So yeah, she didn't back away from it.
Bloody.
But yeah, that goes to show you right there. MVP, they're getting up all the polarizing, to say the least, female boxers, or the female boxers with some name to them.
Yeah. Actually, and the problem is that OnlyFans is a fucking sponsor, aren't they? Because I saw their logo in the ring the other day.
Oh yeah, how about that?
You just think we can step away from that bullshit.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So, closing thoughts?
I didn't get my Christmas present, by the way. I thought I'd just mention. That fucking chump John McAllister is still ducking me. Weak-ass prick. We're going to try to get to Nikita Zerafa. I'll go and sort him out there. Closing thoughts. Yeah, I'm sick of his shit. Fighter of the Year. Jai or Shanika? Actually, leave a comment in the comment section, people. I want to hear your thoughts. Jai, Shanika for Australian Fighter of the Year. Your choice.
Yeah, well, I'm picking Shanika just off of becoming undisputed.
Achievement alone.
Yeah, pretty much. But also her fight with Metcalf was pretty good. And she defended, her undisputed. So I'm giving it to her. Jai, lack of competition is not his fault. But besides that, I mean, who else would be a runner-up? I mean, actually, yeah. Y'all had a bad year though over there.
Well, the women are killing it because at the moment we have Shay Keneally is the WBA light heavyweight, even though she hasn't fought in a while. But I don't know if she's been inactive or stripped or whatever. But Desi Robinson and Kay Scott both have the 2 middleweight belts. Shanika's got her undisputed. Sky's got a version of a belt. So the women are killing it. It's the guys that are lacking because George, Liam, Tim, I don't think we've had as many title fights this year as we have in previous years. I'd have to look it up. I should have done this beforehand to look it up. But, yeah, compared to, like, say, 2022, this year has been not – I mean, Tim – how many world title fights has Tim had this year? One, he got the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
I don't think we've had as many world title fights as in previous years, and if we have, we haven't won. So, I mean, besides Jai, who's, defended his belt, 4 times this year? Is that right? Nika, the Italian bloke, the bloke that he just fought, and there was another bloke. Isn't it 4 or 3?
Let me check now. Hold on.
I'm pretty sure it's 4 fights this year. Or 3.
No, it's been 3, but he's had 4 in the last 14 months. Jack that fight you were referring to was Jack Massey.
Okay, yeah. So he's had 3 successful world title defenses.
Yeah, this year.
Sky lost her belt earlier this year, didn't she, to Tiara Brown, didn't she?
Yep,
and she beat old girl Luna the other day, so you got to give her credit for that. Desley's gone great gun. She picked up another belt and defended it, so she's done pretty well. Kay's won her 2 belts, and Shanika's, had how many world title fights this year? 3? At least. No, 4. Nina, Metcalf, and then the other, so 3.
Yeah.
2 of them for undisputed, so, the women are killing it. The blokes aren't doing so flash. Because did George fight Hitchens this year?
Yeah, that was this year.
Okay, so George has lost. Tim's lost. Now, I don't think there's been any other world title fights.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Kambosos is clearly coming back, because he hasn't retired.
He was supposed to be fighting. No, he was supposed to be fighting, Richard Comey. What happened to that?
Well, there's been no news. I just Googled his name. Nothing is being mentioned. I'm guessing they're looking for the right fight for him to come back to.
I mean, if George retired tomorrow, there would be absolutely no shame in that. He's had a wonderful career, fought 3 top 10 pound-for-pound fighters at the time. He's taken on the best competition he can lay his hands on. If he retired tomorrow, there would be absolutely no shame in that, and he could walk away with knowing that he had a fantastic career, fought the best, and made a shit ton of money.
I wonder if it could be argued over the last, let's say I don't know, 4 years that he's made more money than Tim Tszyu or around the same.
No. Tim makes $1.5 to $2 million per fight.
Mm-hmm.
George's biggest payday was the first Haney fight.
Okay.
It would probably be around the same. So, I mean, Tim the other day would have made probably $1 million for the fight they had last week.
Yeah, I can see that.
Easy. I mean, George would have had bigger paydays, but Tim has more consistent paydays, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, I think Tim would have made more money than George. Right? Like George would have made, what? The two Haney fights, the Lomachenko fight, and the Lopez fight would have been, what, 15 mil?
It's a weird rumor I just looked at on social media, on Twitter, that Tank Davis is looking at a fight with a possible fight with George Kambosos.
Good. That's a good payday. I'd jump on that. I mean, George probably wouldn't win, but I don't. But
it's hard to believe.
Yeah, that's bullshit. But if that's true, George he'd be crazy not to take that payday.
But he's being linked to some people now, so his name is being linked to Cinco de Mayo weekend against Tank Davis possibly.
When's that? May the 4th? Is that Star Wars Day or around then?
Yeah, it's always it's like May the 3rd, 4th, or 5th every year.
Okay, yeah, so it's around Star Wars Day. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be Cinco de Mayo is going to be on the 2nd this year, actually.
Okay, right. Yeah.
May the 2nd this year.
And that's it's the first weekend in May.
Yeah.
So well, as I said, if George gets a good payday and he gets back, great.
Yeah, that'll be his last payday probably. I mean, might as well go for it if it's out there.
Exactly. Do I think he's going to get a belt around his waist? No, I don't think he will.
I don't think those days are over. Because I don't even know what division he would compete in. I mean, obviously, if he fights Tank, it would be at 135. But even the 135 guys, we've already seen enough of Kambosos that he really can't compete at top level anymore. I mean, hell, he went life and death with Maxie Hughes in a fight that people thought he should have lost.
Yeah, he got a gift decision, but who gives a shit? Look at all the belts and all the money and everything that he's won. As I said, if he retired tomorrow, he's got a great career and he's got absolutely nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
The only shame would be to continue on getting the shit kicked out of him and ending up with problems 20 years down the track. So that would be the only shame. If he pulls out now while he's young, healthy, and wealthy, good on him. So.
All right. Well, since we're now at the hour mark, it's time to say thanks for watching. Please subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Follow me on Twitter at TstreeT Controversy and Big J at Old Mate Big J on Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. Let me see. What's our next fight? The 16th, right?
16th, yeah. We're going to see if I can get to that fight. I should make an effort.
Yeah.
Because I'm back up in Queensland now, so it's only a 6-7 hour drive down, or an hour flight. So
okay.
It's only down the road. So I've got to make an effort to see if I can get to that one, because that's on a Friday. Is that right? Friday the 16th?
Do not know. I didn't know y'all had fights on Fridays over there. Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah, we do. Only during as you know, only during the off season of the footy. When the footy season's on, they're always on a Wednesday.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, when it's the summer, we have them on a Friday because there's no footy to compete with. So,
all right. Well, we'll see what we can do about that. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe.